It's about to get really uncomfortable in the studio. It's Brooke and Jubal in the morning. And I'm not just saying that because I recently drank a berry cauliflower smoothie.
What?
Extra fiber.
Why would you tell us that?
It's going to be awkward for a different reason.
Oh,
Okay.
It's going to get a little tense in here because it's time for us to play a game called Plead the Fifth. If you're not familiar with that game, it's a series of awkward questions that get asked to each of us from young Jeffrey. Most of his rude and intrusive questions force us to reveal things about our personal lives that we wouldn't normally discuss in a regular conversation. Some of the things that we've learned from prior rounds of Plead the Fifth. For Jose, we learned... I don't really remember. I don't remember. I do know for Brooke, we learned...
I don't remember.
Not remembering either. For myself... Do I do this show?
I don't think you do,
Am I
actually.
here
Can you,
ever? Because I don't remember.
Are you even hearing your own voice?
So I'm glad we're doing this
Yeah.
because I don't remember anything about either of you guys or myself. So this might be helpful.
Who am I?
What kind of weird things will we learn about each other today? We're about to find out with a brand new round of Plead the Fifth. All right, young Jeffrey, it's over to you.
All right. So we're going to go around the room and we're each going to be asked personal questions here. Let's start with Brooke.
I hate you.
Okay, Brooke. And in the past, you guys, when we've played this game, we've been a little skeptical that all of you have been like 100% honest. So today, I'm challenging you. Jose, look at me in the eye.
Sorry.
Challenging you
Okay.
to be completely truthful with your answers.
Okay.
Okay?
Right.
Brooke, first question.
I'm lying.
You've expressed in past shows that back in the day, you had many, many casual encounters with random men. You've even admitted to being with a homeless man.
I'm not being with. I just made out with him. That's totally different. I
If
kissed
he's
him.
homeless, I think that
I didn't know he was homeless.
That's
My friends had
considered
to tell me.
being
Well,
with him.
He was.
It's just a kiss.
Either way, your question is, have you ever had an STD before? And please, it's required that you be honest.
Yeah.
You do have one opportunity to plead the fifth.
Oh my God.
This one
That
is
is a
actually
good
really
question.
easy for me because no.
Yes.
No, I haven't. I haven't because I will tell you, I am adamant about using protection.
Oh really?
Yes, I am.
Boring.
I will
I'm
bring
kidding.
it with me. I am a protection lady.
Oh.
Okay.
You're the fun kind
Yeah.
of girl.
Yeah.
You're the.
I mean, I will be on the pill and still be using those things.
Remember-
Oh yeah.
Jeff
So,
said-
I mean, you come prepared. If you're ready to party, you need to be prepared to party. And I will stop any sexual encounter that's happening and be like, no, wrap that up.
Now it sounds like overcompensating.
Yeah.
No.
Remember, Jeff said
I
to
just
be
think that
honest
there's really
here.
been a downfall
Yeah.
in people using protection.
You're
and I
really
think it's
hammering that point
ridiculous.
home, though.
Yeah. She's
Yeah.
like, I have sprays.
I couldn't possibly have
Okay.
gotten herpes from the homeless guy. Why are you guys asking me if I got herpes from the homeless guy? Nobody asked that
This is
part.
a blister. It's
Yeah.
not what you think.
You
Okay.
guys are jerks. I haven't, luckily.
Okay.
I
All
haven't.
right.
No
No
STDs.
shame if you have. No shame if you have, but I haven't.
Okay.
Again, over-explaining.
Yeah.
Not judging you if you got
I've
them.
had one.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
totally
it's
cool.
fine. A lot of people do. Some people in this studio might. Not me, but a lot of people.
It's normal. It's almost normal if you not normal if you don't.
Yeah.
get it.
All right. Thank you, Brooke, for answering truthfully there. Now let's move on to Brooke.
Yes, I love
You
this.
have been a mom for 4 years now, and you're easily the oldest person on the show. So
Not the oldest person.
Brooke, I'm asking
That
a
is
question
such
here.
A bullcrap.
Let me-
There's 2 people on the show that are older than me.
Brooke, let me ask the question here, okay?
Whatever, you're lying
You're a
now.
mom, you're an old mom, and so we know that there's been many shameful moments in parenting for you. Tell us your most shameful one.
Oh my God, you guys. I know exactly what it is.
Oh,
and
really?
I'm gonna get eaten alive.
You can still plead the fifth, remember.
Who's gonna eat you alive? The listeners?
So I have almost killed my babies a couple times.
Oh
On
my
purpose?
God.
On purpose? Yeah, it sounds
Not on
like you like
purpose.
went in there with a hammer.
It
You're
was
like,
a total accident. It was a total accident.
nah, not gonna do it. Instead, I'm gonna read them a bedtime story.
Those were accidents, so I think they happen to every parent. But my most shameful parenting moment, this is so bad, doesn't even really involve my kids. My husband and I went to Vegas
Yeah.
alone, and it was our first, time after having the second kid, and I was still breastfeeding, and we stayed up all night partying to the point where we were awake and we're like, oh my god, we have to get on the flight.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Like
but
all
we're
night.
exhausted. So we get on the flight and we're exhausted, and I also have to pump breast milk.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still pretty drunk.
Oh,
And I decide that it's fine if I pump breast milk while sitting in the seat instead of excusing myself to the bathroom.
Yeah. Breastfeeding in public is one thing, but pumping right next to somebody is a different.
And it's really loud. It's like,
Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
and not only did I decide that was okay for me to do, but I passed out during the middle of it.
While you're doing it.
So I was passed out with a pump attached to my boob for probably 45 minutes on this flight.
Oh my god.
Before
You know what?
I woke up and sobered up just enough to be like, oh my god.
It's a flight from Vegas, so everyone there was like, yeah, that's expected.
She's
Like,
not
there was some
perfect.
guy next to you
That
doing the
was
same thing for
awful.
some reason.
Yeah, she's a
He doesn't
third
even know
person
why.
doing it,
Yeah.
I thought she was gonna say she was so drunk she decided to drink it to keep the buzz going.
No, I
probably been a good
definitely
idea.
tasted it. It's sweet. Yeah.
It's like a little vodka in there.
Yeah.
You're just tuning in. We're playing a game called Plead the Fifth, where each of us are asked a series of very personal and revealing questions, and we can only plead the fifth on one of those questions. The rest of them we have to answer truthfully, no matter how embarrassing it is. So Brooke's been asked 2
Yeah.
questions already. All right, Jeff.
All right, let's
Who's
move on
next?
to Jubal. It's your turn.
All right.
Jubal, you're now kind of a stepfather because the woman you're seeing has 2 children.
Right.
So your question is, which child do you love more? You can only pick one, and you have to answer 100% honestly, or you can plead the fifth.
And
That is funny.
And I remember distinctly you saying that there is no way a parent
I know.
or someone doesn't love a kid more.
Yeah, I did say that.
You did, and you've been very adamant about it.
I
in the
have
past.
been.
And
Yeah.
I've seen you with the kids, and you are
And,
amazing.
and you've called
awesome.
you've called parents who have said that they love them equally liars.
I have.
Yeah.
And
Moment of truth.
if I'm gonna answer truthfully, I'm gonna see
Don't
the
answer
problem
it.
with answering truthfully is I think I have to say that I was wrong, and I don't like doing that
Yeah, that's.
because I like them both the same.
No, you can't.
I really do.
No.
I know.
No, you
That's
have,
what I'm saying.
you have to
You
choose
can't.
one.
I can't though.
You have
like
to.
I like them both for different reasons, but the
Yeah,
same.
they're
You know,
different qualities,
they're
right?
different.
If
so
you
I
could
get,
hang
I
out
get
with
it
one
now.
of them right now, which one would you pick to hang out with?
The older, more independent one, or the younger, more needy one?
Okay, if I had to hang out with one, probably the older, more independent one, just because the younger, more needy one, you gotta be doing stuff constantly.
All right.
I have realized that like part of like being in the life of a kid at that age is just like suggesting that we'll do things later and hoping they'll forget.
They don't.
Like that's part of parenting though. It's like being like, yeah, no, we'll definitely do that. We'll do it later though. We don't have time, and you're just like, please forget that I told you that. Please forget. So
And
I guess that, but I guess I have to say I was wrong about that because
You do
if
love
I'm
the
thinking
older one
about,
more.
I haven't thought about it right now. No, I haven't thought about it until now. But yeah, I like them both the same. I know it means that I'm wrong.
Yeah.
It means that I'm admitting that I was wrong about something, which
Wow.
is the hardest thing I've ever had to do.
You need to save this. You need to save this piece of audio.
Right.
There's probably some other things that are coming up about that too, with kids, right? Like that's not the first wrong thing.
All
That's
right.
good though. That is a really good turn of your heart.
Wow. You can
It
see
is. I think
now.
that's nice.
You can see
I think
now.
that's really kind.
Let's move on.
Now I'm feeling like I need to lash out at somebody in anger
Well,
to make it
sorry.
better.
Let's move on. Jose, it's now your turn.
Dang it, we don't need to hit the song yet?
Not yet. Jose, your question is, what would you guess? Because you seem to know a lot about your parents' life. You tell us a lot about your dad and your mom. So what would you guess your parents' favorite bedroom position is?
Oh, gross.
Or you can plead the fifth.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
Oh, now
I
I'm
think-
picturing them. Like, that is so not cool.
Oh,
I think this is a hard question because deep down I bet you know.
Yeah.
I do know. And I'm not gonna plead the fifth. No,
What?
I have
No.
to guess. I'll
You
tell
know.
Okay, here's the thing.
Oh my god.
My mother is a wild child.
Oh my
She likes,
God.
Okay, just be quiet.
My mom is a wild
Listen.
Are you
stallion.
gonna say like reverse cowboy or something?
Here's the thing about my mom. I know for sure she's got an unquenchable appetite for love. Thirst for love. I mean, this woman,
This is what I mean.
she's
My
like a
mom-
7-Eleven, open 24 hours. talking about my mom.
My mom grew up like the rebel. She was a hippie.
Uh-huh.
She did, drugs and partied. And my dad, though. So what I'm saying is I know my mom would probably be into stuff, but my dad is the most vanilla,
No, those are the
sweetest-
ones that you least expect.
Dude,
they
he
go
goes-
crazy.
He goes to church like,
Yeah.
I mean, he is like super, super boring. So if I had to guess, I would say just plain old missionary.
No way.
I
No
would
way. That's not what
say-
you believe.
That's
I
not what you
hope-
truly
That's
believe.
not what you believe.
That's what you want.
Yeah.
I hope it's just let's do it. And it's like 10 seconds and it's over. And then I was born.
You don't want that for your mother. Don't wish that on any woman.
I'm just
All right.
saying, Mom and Dad.
Well, that's
Oh,
nobody's you pled the fifth yet, and we'll play a song and we'll discuss with Jose off the air a little bit more about his parents' sexual lives
Please
because
no.
I need to know more. And I'm guessing the questions are only going to get more uncomfortable since nobody's pled the fifth yet,
Oh,
and
great.
we'll be asked some more plead the fifth questions right after this. Doing a little fact checking. So Jose, I just emailed your mom asking if missionary is in fact their favorite sexual position.
And?
If you're just tuning in, it's Brooke and Jubal in the morning. We're playing a game called Plead the Fifth, where we each are asked a series of very personal and revealing questions from young Jeffrey, and we can only plead the fifth on one of those questions. The rest we have to answer truthfully, no matter how embarrassing it is. And I'm sure Jeff has more plead the fifth questions for us, so let's just get right into it.
I have
Jeff?
plenty more. And it's interesting because so far nobody has pled the fifth yet. You've all decided to answer your questions. So plead the fifth is still on the table.
Okay.
Good, good.
Brooke, it's now your turn.
Again.
Brooke,
right.
what is one thing that absolutely gets on your nerves about another member of the show?
Yeah, this is it. This is an opportunity.
Yeah.
What you guys are talking
How
about.
much time do we have?
Yeah. The first thing that comes to mind, Jose.
Okay. Obviously.
That's it.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah,
That's all. That's all it
Me,
is.
overall.
You can never use me and I correctly. You always say, always, like, Jubal and me have a comedy show. Jubal and me are going to dinner.
Or me and Jubal.
Whatever.
Yeah,
It's
I see
not
that.
proper. And then the thing about you not using it, like, I used to correct you years ago, and then I
Yeah.
finally gave up because I'm like, now I'm starting to sound pretentious. I'm not trying to be pretentious, but it's and I.
Yeah.
It's and I. And the problem with that is, literally 2 days ago, you were on Facebook shaming someone for not
Yeah.
knowing how to do your and
Yeah,
your.
It's funny you say
And
that.
I'm
'cause
like,
I
what
hate
are
that
you
and your-
talking about? You are the worst grammar person that I know. How can you be calling someone out for something that you do on the regular?
No, it's true. You and your bugs me so much.
That
but I-
doesn't make any
I
sense!
never think about that. I don't know. Me, myself, and me. Just
All right,
doing
yeah.
the me thing. I don't
It
know.
drives me crazy. And I. And you do it on air all the time.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
Why are you so upset
You're
at me?
not, because I
Never.
corrected you a long time ago, and no, you never listen.
Probably feels good to get that off your chest.
I've been living with that for a while.
Yeah, I can tell.
I'm sorry I don't speak well enough for you, Brooke.
Oh, thank you, Brooke. Let's move on. Jubal, it's your turn.
Okay.
What is the worst bedroom experience that you've ever had? And please
question.
try and keep it PG.
Okay. There's two that come to mind right away.
Okay, are they both? Are they your fault or someone else's fault? Or a
There's-
collective group effort?
there's no fault. I
Okay.
wouldn't place blame on anybody.
Okay.
But they were just weird experiences.
Explain.
And I'm trying to think. So you said keep it PG.
If you can.
Man. Okay. I'm just trying to choose which one would be the okay. I'm just trying to figure out how to keep it PG for you.
It's
there
just
you
funny
go,
because
Jeffrey.
you're like thinking and you're like smiling like.
They were funny. They were funny. Okay.
You're just imagining Jose's mom again.
Oh, stop it!
That's a matter of fact. She's both of the
No!
examples. So
No!
okay. All right. So I think the worst bedroom experience I had was I went out on a date with this girl, and then we started hooking up, and she wanted me to smack her boobs.
Okay.
Smack
Okay.
All right. That's a
Little
good
smack,
way to put it.
right?
Okay.
Slap.
And so I obliged,
Mm-hmm.
like lightly,
A little tap.
And she didn't like that. She said
Whoa.
harder. So I did it again,
That's a fine line.
playfully,
Yeah.
Sensitive, right?
and she looked at me and was like, "No, hit them."
Oh!
And then I was
Just
like,
want to be punched in the chest.
Okay. So I reached back and gave a huge hit. Okay?
Just like a.
And I felt bad instantly. I was like, "Oh my God, what did I just do?"
Are you okay?
And then she
Was
looked
she
at me
into
and
it?
she said, "No, not like that. Stop being a little." And then she swore at me and then threw my hand off and started assaulting herself,
Oh my God.
hitting herself. And I just watched. And then I was like, I'm done.
I'm gonna let you do
yeah,
your thing
you do
here.
you right now. I'm just too drunk. I'm gonna lay here.
Your little child hands weren't
scared.
enough for her.
No, they
obviously.
weren't. I was scared. I was just like, stop hitting yourself. Stop it.
I'm
Yeah.
scared for that story.
That has to hurt.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So that would probably be it. That was really bad.
That's the weirdest
I
one.
Yeah.
thought for sure it was gonna be like, and then she got up because she thought I was attacking her. But
no,
wanted more.
she wanted more, and I couldn't do it.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
All right, Jose, it's your turn again. Your question is, you are on a boat with Brooke and Jubal.
Okay,
The
fun.
boat capsizes and you can only save one of them. The other will not make it. Who do you
What?
save?
That is the most messed up question I think I've ever been asked. This is like my work bro and my work sister. This is my family. I mean, Brooke did just call me out. I want to say.
Yeah,
Plead
now
the
you're upset
Fifth.
about that.
What
Brooke
you
is
want to
annoying.
say is you want to say me and Jubal were on the boat together is what you want to say.
I would
Yeah.
say me and Jubal. Dude, that's a really tough question because.
Really, I
like,
think it would be an easy one. I'll give you my reasoning on that after you answer.
Okay. My instinct says save Jubal. Because Jubal's my bro.
Wow.
He's got me on. He's the reason I'm on the show. He's, we have the comedy thing. We do lots of comedy together.
Wow.
But Brooke, you and I have formed a great relationship.
Brooke's
over the
also a
years.
mom with 2 children.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think of that. The
Yeah,
kids, and I
God.
love her kids.
Why are you putting Jose as the responsible one for saving
Yeah.
us? We know if the boat capsized, he's sinking.
See, that's what I was gonna say. She's a mom, 2 kids, zest for life. I'm one step away from walking in front of a bus at all times. At all times. So,
Because
Yeah.
we are good friends, and I know that about you. I walk on the inside of the street when we're walking
Yeah.
together, just in case you do that.
I walk dangerously close to the street every day.
But in overall, I gotta do it. I gotta plead the fifth. I
Really?
cannot pick.
Can't answer
No,
it?
I love both of you guys.
The same, just like kids.
I guess just plead the fifth. That's I gotta
Okay.
do it. I can't
That's
answer
interesting.
that. Sorry,
All
guys.
right.
Sorry to disappoint
What
you.
a way to
That's- well, I
end
wish
it
I
you
wish
all.
would-
we would all live, and you guys are disappointed.
Yeah, I was hoping you would want one of us dead.